Dev Sahni here for Queensberry Promotions, and I'm joined at Lee Valley Athletic Centre by Hamzah Sheeraz. How you doing?
All good yourself?
I'm good, mate. You look exhausted.
Yeah, man.
So talk me through. We've just watched you do sprints. We've seen you really massive leg workout. Really, talk me through that.
Yeah, and I trained with Mark Finley down here. I done my last camp, for the Ryan Kelly fight I did with him. That was my first camp. But now, as you see, we're literally elevating, man. Every session's been harder and harder. And compared to last camp, we've just come straight away and hit it hard for, I think we've been doing it for about 6 weeks now. So all in all, will be, I think, 10 weeks with him. So the work's been crazy, especially 7 a.m. in the morning, man. I ain't used to these morning sessions, but getting the work in early is good, innit? So yeah.
And how often do you do this a week then?
I do this twice or 3 times a week, depending on how I feel. Normally it's Monday, Wednesday and Friday sessions early in the morning. So yeah. Very
early starts. Do you enjoy this, or is this like the least enjoyable part of training?
I ain't an early morning bird, but I used to do evening sessions with him, and I used to do boxing in the mornings. But ever since I've switched it around, I find that my performances are getting better in boxing training as well. So it's all about working hard but working smart as well. So yeah, I've decided to work smart now, even though I ain't that clever.
And we've got some footage you're training with young Omar as well. Is it just the two of you all the time? Yeah,
it's just me and him. Literally, he's my cousin, and he's coming up as well. So it's always good to have someone with you, I think. And he's a much better runner than me as well. So once I start beating him on the sprints, that's when I know I've got to my optimal fitness as well. And he's always here pushing me, even though he's younger than me. He's always pushing me running wise and everything. And yeah, it's good to have him here, man.
So about 4.5 weeks out from fight night, how are you feeling? Are you do you feel ready, like you can fight tomorrow, or do you still feel a little bit way off?
No, I do honestly, because last fight we started sparring, I think 5 weeks prior to the fight. Now we started sparring literally when the camp started, so my reactions and everything are 10 times sharper, feeling sharper as well, and just preparing for what we've got in front of us.
I've seen some videos after your training. You go in what I can only describe as a tanning booth, but it's not a sunbed, is it? Talk me through what that is.
Yeah, no, it's a hyperbaric chamber. O3 Health have fit in for me like a couple of days ago, and it's just good for recovery really, because once, like I said, training's been a lot harder this time, so recovery has to be more intense and a lot better as well. And yeah, they fitted it in, and after every session and before I go to sleep for an hour every day, I go in there, and I think it's like 97% oxygen, so the recovery just like, I think getting an hour in there is like getting 8 hours sleep, the recovery wise. So yeah, you feel wicked afterwards. So, yeah.
What do you do in there?
Just literally Netflix and chill on my ones. No, literally just on my phone. It gets a bit boring, but nothing much you can do really.
So your dad sent me a video. He was sort of poking through the window, and you didn't look particularly impressed. You looked deep into your Netflix. What are you watching at the moment?
What was I watching? I was watching that new thing with Mark Wahlberg out, Spencer something. Yeah, I was watching that, and I'm halfway through it. So yeah, it's alright.
Any good?
It's pretty decent, it's alright.
Let's talk about your last fight then.
Yep.
So it was Ryan Kelly, it was Midlands Mayhem, and I think you may well have stolen the show that night. How do you look back on it?
It's alright, I don't really look back at my fights too much. Obviously, like I said, the footage that Chris got was a mad footage. I watched that a few times, can't lie, but in terms of watching it, it's past me now, so obviously it's good for the memories and it's good for capturing the belt and everything, but in terms of learning from it, I leave that to my coach Eddie and everything, and I let them watch it and work on my weaknesses from that fight, which are loads as well. So literally just that, but looking back on the day, it was a wicked day. Like obviously to capture my first belt in that fashion, unexpectedly as well, because it ain't been stopped before. But like I said, not dwelling on that too much now. We've got April 11th in front of us, and looking forward to that.
Well, there was a moment, once you had him down, you were in the corner. Now, BT cameras didn't capture this for very long, but our videographer, Chris, got it very well. And you were sort of shaking around and dangling your gloves. Talk me through that. What went through your head?
To be honest, I don't know what went through my head. But I was enjoying it. Like, as soon as I clicked him with that right hand, I thought, I know he's gone. And I just kind of got into the zone kind of thing. And then as soon as he got up, I just went for the kill. And I think literally the fight was stopped like a second before the end of the round. So yeah, it's good, man. But in terms of your question, I don't know what I was doing myself, man.
And then when the fight was stopped, you dropped your knees and you sort of looked around your first belt. Describe that moment for me.
Yeah, it was a wicked moment. It wasn't like I didn't drop in faith that I kind of this is it, I've done it kind of thing. It was like this is the beginning, like, oh, do you know what I mean? This is a breakthrough performance. Like I said, I'd get do you know what I mean? I said and I delivered. So it was more like this is the first step to becoming great kind of thing. So yeah.
So your next fight, April the 11th, you've got Paul Keane. Yep. What do you know about him?
He's a good southpaw, tall as well. he's a good fighter as well. Do you know what I mean? He's had 12 fights, I think 111. He's a Celtic champion as well. So listen, he ain't no joke at the end of the day. None of my opponents are going to be jokes now. They're all going to come to fight and come to win. So he brings something different as well. The fact that he's a southpaw, but it's something that I'm looking forward to because. Do you know what I mean? It's another. It'll be another box ticked hopefully. So, and I'm looking to get him out of there in spectacular fashion, inshallah. So yeah, man, looking forward to it.
So would you watch footage of him now, or will you leave that to the team? Like he moves about a little bit, is what I've noticed.
Yeah. I've seen like I think like 30-second clip of him, and he can do a bit of both, fight and he can box as well. So like I said, and he's a southpaw, like I said, so it's something different, but it's a challenge and something that I'm looking forward to. And like I said, I'm going to get in there and do my thing like I always do, inshallah. So yeah.
Massive show, Dubois versus Joyce. Does that put more pressure on you, knowing that there's going to be such a platform for this fight?
Not really, to be fair, because all the for my debut was on the Saunders and Monroe undercard, and for me, like being an amateur, not really having a mad amateur background and boxing on a world title bill, that was my first moment. Like, whoa, this is a big bill to be on. And I've been on all the big bills since then. I just like to thank Frank for that. And like my people come out in numbers to support me. So pressure-wise, it's not that much pressure because if I know I train hard, do you know what I mean? So all I've got to do is do what I practice on the day and get the job done.
I've got to ask, because you just talked about your support. I'm looking at your T-shirt, which is very unfortunate. Can I just ask why you support Arsenal?
Listen, from young, it's just been instilled in me, innit? So
it's child abuse, that.
No, they're a good team. They're a London team as well, so that's why I support them. Yeah, man.
I'm sure Frank, that gives you favours with Frank as well. Another fight coming up in your weight division then. Troy Williamson against Stephen Donnelly. How'd you see that going?
It's a good fight. I think they're both similar fighters as well. But I'd say, in my opinion, I don't know. I think it's dead 50-50. But if I had to pick anyone, I'd pick Troy Williamson. I'd just edge him a little bit. I don't know why, but that'd be my pick. Yeah.
He's had a few things to say about you as well in the past, Troy Williamson. Is that a fight you see happening sort of down the line?
Yeah, no, 100%. Him, anyone in the weight, to be honest, not just him. Like, we both got fights to concentrate on now, so we concentrate on them for now. But in terms of future plans, listen, like I said, any super welterweight, because that's the division I'm in, and that's the division I'm looking to take over. So it'd be stupid not to. Do you know what I mean? So yeah.
It's the same night you're fighting. The headline is Daniel Dubois against Joe Joyce. I don't think we've got a prediction from you yet, Hamzah. What are you saying?
I said it before and I say it again. I reckon Dubois knocks him out within 6 rounds. I said it's a bit of a bold statement, but then I was looking back at it and I thought, is it? Because he can bang, do you know what I mean? And Joe Joyce is pretty open as well. Unless he brings something like totally different that no one expects, I think that's the only way he can win. But supporting Daniel Dubois as well, because I've been sparring down Peacocks quite a bit.
You haven't been sparring him, have you?
But no, I ain't got a death wish, man. No, I've been, and like I said, you can see someone, like you can see when a man's possessed and driven to do some damage, and watching him hit the heavy bag and everything, you can see he's determined, man. So yeah, it's a fight I'm looking forward to, a fight that whole boxing was looking forward to, man. So yeah.
It's a big one. I've noticed a few changes in your team as well. You've got a kind of familiar face on the boxing circuit, Taz Khan, Amir Khan's uncle. How did that come about?
He's like from back in the days when I used to go watch Khan box. Taz always used to hook us up with tickets and always look after us. And at the time, I used to always tell him I used to box and that, but every young kid tells you they're going to box and everything, so you don't really think much of it then. And then slowly, I think after my 7th fight, he come to my 6th fight, and then my 7th fight he was there, and then my last fight against Ryan Kelly, because Taz's been there and he's done it all, do you know what I mean? Because he's been everywhere. He had the experience where he could come in and help me as well. And like this oxygen chamber thing, he got in for me, and he's got a lot of recovery equipment in for me as well, because he's been in America and he knows what's what really. So it's always good to have someone like himself around, experience-wise, for the team and for myself.
Feels like you're building a really strong sort of foundation and team. Is that important to you, Hamzah?
Yeah, no, 100%. Like I was saying in one of my interviews the other day, having a strong team is the key to success, especially in boxing, because in every field, like area like strength, conditioning, boxing, I've got a coach for everything. Do you know what I mean? So every base is covered. Like I said, come April 11th, no stone will be unturned, and hopefully get a knockout victory.
All right, well, we look forward to it, Hamzah. Thanks for talking to us, and thanks for letting us into the athletics today.
No, cheers. Thank you, Dev.
Good luck.
Thank you very much.